Hello loves, I'm Liza Quin. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. Today we're talking about something that I think is very important, and it was a topic brought up by vocal coach Tristan Paredes. Now before we get into this, I want to make clear that I am a Tristan, as he says. I think he really knows his shit. He's a fantastic coach, a very talented singer, and he has a much bigger channel than my tiny little channel. But I love that he brought up this topic because it's something that comes up a lot, and I don't think we really talk about it enough. And I think Olivia is a target for this unfairly. So I want to bring a slightly different perspective of someone who's been in a lot of bands for live specials and recordings like this. So let's get into it.
There's something I noticed on the TikToks the other day. Olivia Rodrigo has been getting a lot of heat, especially for this Good For You Saturday Night Live performance. Maybe not even a lot. Maybe there were just people on TikTok that wanted attention, and so they made these videos about it. There's this one. I feel like I'm crazy because it sounds fine to me. All right, this kid is like 10. There's so much.
Okay, I'm with Tristan on this one. You can't imagine how many times I work with artists and they post a cover or something, and many times well, at least before COVID, I was the one who would track them in my home studio. And so I knew the exact process of how we got it done. Actually did not have any AutoTune. One, because generally it was AutoTune with like Pro Tools, which I use now. And even then, I'm still too cheap to get AutoTune. So I don't have it. But also because I would coach them through the process and make sure we got really good takes because I knew I didn't have the software to tune it after. And they'd post it on Instagram, and then all of a sudden all these little bullies would kind of chime in and be like,
I could totally hear the auto-tune in this.
And I'd be like, well, you're wrong because I tracked it and I don't even have auto-tune. And once or twice I kind of would stand up for the singers that way. Like, I get it. I get that there's this whole culture of auto-tune that's overdone, at least overdone to some. I think if it enhances the record and it makes it fun and cool, like, who cares? And I think it's really unfair that we expect people to always sound perfect live versus the record. And Tristan gets into this a little bit more, so let's keep going with this.
There's so much. I don't know what it is about this. It sounds fine. I do think though her performance in the Sour Prom is a bit better though, and we're going to talk about why that is.
Okay. I want to talk about why that is real quick. Why that is that some live performances sound better than others. Okay, various things to discuss here. You have to imagine that the way live sound is recorded for a special of this caliber. I mean, think about all the extras, the money, the sets, the crew that had to be involved in the making of something like Sour Prom. It's a much bigger thing than perhaps a crew that's running Saturday Night Live. And it's a completely different kind of production. It is for a live television production that has to run quickly and smoothly. And yeah, in some cases, you know, there are some things that could be fixed on the fly, but for the most part, they just gotta go, go, go. And maybe the amount of people working on it is slightly different than a giant production like Sour Prom. Now, you should also know that for something like Sour Prom, the amount of preparation that goes into it is also much greater and a little different. Now, mind you, there are a lot of factors that you have to consider. Like, for example, Olivia has a lot of like indoor, outdoor, big things where, you know, Tristan talks about with the big marching band and the whole thing. And there's just all these elements that you have to consider.
Could you imagine how loud it would be behind her?
So those things all factor in the day of production. You might have a couple engineers just kind of worried about what that recording process is like, making sure nothing messes up, making sure they get all the passes they need. And, you know, Tristan talks about sort of doing it in one take.
Not only that, but like a lot of this is done in one take, if it's not all done in one take.
And the thing is that, yeah, look, depending on the situation, you might have a second pass when you're doing a special like Sour Prom. Again, I don't know. You know, if there is an audience, they prep the audience for, hey, we might run it one more time. And then you got somebody over the loudspeaker going, okay, everybody, reset. We got to get that one more time. Now, they try their best to make it as much of just like a concert situation, but sometimes some little things happen. Something got messed up, they need to get it again. Tristan talks about, so he has this great bit where he shows sort of like some behind the scenes footage, which shows that it is live. Right. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about here. Yes, this is a live performance that was recorded. Now, a couple ways that this is handled. Aside from rehearsal, where you really prep and you have this whole crew of people making sure that your audio is coming in clean and that you need everything that you need and that the band is ready, blah, 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 all that stuff. Even in music videos, right? The artist still has to sing out live. So even if this were a pre-recorded situation, she would still have to sing live because it wouldn't look like a real performance if you don't actually sing out loud. I'm not saying that's what happened here. I'm just saying that it's just a little tidbit of information I wanted to share so you guys know that. We can mention, and Tristan talks about this in this video, I was wrong about Olivia Rodrigo, where he shows sort of a Disney special that Ariana did where her note was corrected.
I love this song though. I still love this song. Listen to what it actually sounded like in the audience. Wait on my show. That part is very clearly very flat. And here.
So it actually doesn't sound that different. I mean, from the audience, things are going to sound a little bit different, but I agree with Tristan. It's clearly pitchy compared to what you get through the TV. But another thing that's done is not only can you, if you track everything separately, you can tune vocals after. On top of that, you can also go into the recording studio and fix some things. So for certain TV specials, there are times where the band will go individually to the studio and you'll touch up some things or maybe add some extra layers to your parts. I mean, people just can't expect that humans are perfect all the time. And I don't think we should shame anyone for that. A lot of these artists aren't sleeping. They had a 5 a.m. radio interview in the morning when they're doing promo and their voice is tired, they're dehydrated, maybe they were on a plane, whatever. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.